Hey, I'm Supats, lifelong solopreneur. Now living my life with only one passion to help solopreneurs to launch their digital products on fast track so that they can be profitable as fast as within 1 week, and they want to scale, they can join the membership. And as a bonus, I show them how they can sell their digital products all over the world using affiliates. Without further delay, let's get started. Oh yeah, I started recording the little. It is a little long
Ah,
process over here. So hey, yeah, we are recording now. We are live now. Welcome to New Beginning Inspiration for You podcast. And as our promise, we have a special guest today who will add value to your life so that you will have shortcut to your success, and surely it will add means lots of means education and implementation points into your business journey, and it will make your personal life better. So today we have Brian Elam, and he is going to share about his story, his struggles, his success, and his passion. So without further delay, let me invite Brian, welcome to New Beginning Inspiration for You podcast. And here, yeah, we welcome anyone who can inspire solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, especially in their beginning journey when they really don't see much revenue coming in, but they have a dream, they have passion, and they are willing to learn and implement. And they are looking for coaches like you. So, without further delay, let's get started. I want to know more about your story, your struggles, your success. So, stage is all yours.
well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Sue, for the opportunity to be here. I am definitely honored to speak with you and provide some value to the audience. And as far as my story, my entrepreneurship journey really began back in 2012. I was, at that time, I was going through school to become a massage therapist. And sitting
Hmm.
in class night after night, my
Mm-hmm.
mind was continually being blown open by all of these things as far as how to take care of our bodies naturally that I had never heard of before. And so I got to thinking to myself, I'm not a particularly dumb person, right? And if I didn't know all of these things that are out there to help us heal naturally, my gosh, what does the average person not know? And then the idea hit me. I need to start the Angie's list of natural healthcare providers. That way we can bring these healers and the people that need healing together. And I was passionate, I was motivated, and there was no stopping me. And I went forward. I had no idea how to build a business at all, not a clue. So I spent hours and hours on Google and YouTube, as I'm sure a lot of people that are listening have done and probably currently are doing to try to figure this whole thing out. And I built my website on my own. I learned how to write copy. I learned about Facebook marketing, SEO, Google advertising, all kinds of things. And I got my site up and going. It was fabulous. And I thought, all right, now I've got this amazing site and service all set up, ready to go. It's all automated. And I just need to press go and I'm going to be rich.
Yeah, I built it and they will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all know how that story typically turns out, don't we? Yeah. So you can imagine where I'm going next with this. After 3 years of just moving and trying to push this thing along and financing it from my personal checking account, I decided, you know what? I, at this point in time, don't have what it takes to make this thing fly. I'm going to have to shut it down. And I did. And it was a real gut punch because obviously it was my first try at this whole entrepreneurship thing. But I realized that I wasn't done. I've always had this thing in me where I don't want to work for somebody else for the rest of my life. And again, I'm sure your listeners definitely resonate with that. And that's when I went down
Absolutely.
the rabbit hole of mentorship, coaching, personal development, which, long story short, ended with me becoming an entrepreneurship coach and landing my first client in 2020 during the pandemic when we were all home and, with so much extra time on our hands. So that's when I started the entrepreneurship coaching side. And now it has morphed into a passion for podcasting, talking with successful entrepreneurs, which I do on my show, Get Your Entrepreneurship Together. That way, my audience gets to hear their stories and understand what's out there in the real world working right now. And you get to hear from a variety of experts in all kinds of different expertise and thought leaders, all of it. And so I'm really passionate about bringing that forward to the audience. And the latest iteration and idea is to see, just to see. And I'm offering this invitation to you, the listener. If you would like to potentially join what I'm calling an entrepreneurship support circle, where you would get to ask questions not only to me, but to one of my expert guests that I've interviewed in the past, and kind of help you figure out maybe something you're struggling with in your business right now, and also get to hear from other people and hear what's going on with them and the answers that we give. And if that's something that you would like to potentially do, reach out to me. Let me know that sounds interesting. It's Brian at GYET and I would be more than happy to let you know if you're interested when we launch that. So that's
So what is the long form of
so the
GYET?
long form is Get Your Entrepreneurship Together.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Most your story really means relate to what research I did. Most solopreneurs quit their business before launching their
Mm,
first product. Many entrepreneurs don't see second year in their business. Those who see second year, many of them don't see fifth year in the business. Entrepreneurs, they are not understood, solopreneurs, they are not understood by their own family and friends. Because if you are not a solopreneur, and if they are not solopreneur, only one solopreneur understands
that's
other
right.
solopreneur. Because yeah, if you are a solopreneur, your friends are partying on Saturday night, and you might be, yeah, you're doing podcast. They won't understand why are you doing that. Or you might be in your home office at 8 p.m., your spouse will come and it is 8 p.m., why are you still working? And you cannot tell your spouse, I'm working because I want to give you more options. But at the beginning, there is hardly to show for it, so you cannot even say that. And only one solopreneur understands other solopreneur, so it is so important to have community. Because then, and if you are giving chance to everyone to talk, that means other people understand, okay, I'm not the only one, other people are also going through the same challenges or similar challenges, how they are overcoming. And if they can overcome, even I can overcome, right? Because it is not like that, yeah, means they are some special, means it, they also have one nose, two eyes, everything is same. So means they are not much different from me. So if they can do it, I can do it. And that it's so inspirational. And that's how I got started into the podcast, because I just wanted to inspire. But I think you went one step beyond that, because this support circle is so much needed. I really can't wait to find out more about that. Means you just want to know more about. And I was looking at your profile, your website. I just loved the way you said that good people need more money and lots of money. That is that that also, because I really, when I was young, my relationship with money was not that great, because I thought people with money always do something bad. Because that is what I saw, means in my family or distant family, people who were really wealthy, they were doing lots of wrong things, unethical things. And so I thought, oh, people with money always do wrong things. And I had lots of questions nobody could answer, so I got into spirituality and realized that. money is not bad. It's money in good people's hand, they do good thing, and bad people's hand do bad things. So money is just an
That is
amplifier.
exactly what I was going to
It
say.
just it just reveals your true nature. And that's why your tagline, it resonated me so much, because if the good people have money, they will be doing good things, because you are not going to carry anything up there. So they will make sure that their money is going for the good reason. So yeah, so I want to know, how did you come up with that tagline? How did you come up with your uh, overall the website? Because everything is so amazing and so inspiring. Tell me more about that.
Well, your journey and experience with money definitely has some mirrors with my own. When I was younger, my family was, I guess you could say, lower middle class as far as income level. So money was always something that you had to work hard for. It didn't come easy, doesn't grow on trees. All of those things that we
Oh
say
yeah,
to
yeah.
perpetuate the money, the myth that money is hard to have and there's a limited amount of it. So that was really something that I had to break out of and overcome. And I did that through the very first mentorship program that I went through after I shut my first business down. That was one of the main things, the idea of abundance that I got from that mentorship program. It was worth that one thing, that one unlock alone was worth the entire program, because it made me understand and lead
Hmm.
to the mantra that you like so much is good people deserve lots of money. And the caveat to that is another quote that your income or the amount of money that you can bring in will only be as much as the value that you can provide in the world. So that leads into entrepreneurship. That leads into what are you passionate about? What are you skilled at? And opens up an entirely new conversation about really understanding what it is you're trying to create, why you're trying to create it, and what is your role inside of that creation. As you know, the entrepreneurship journey is not a straight line, and there's many different paths that you can go down, especially when we're just here talking about experiences and generalities. But it's a beautiful journey, and yes, good people
Oh
deserve
yeah.
lots of money.
Entrepreneurship is actually, it is the best self-help journey, because first you have to develop yourself, and when you develop yourself you can serve others. Because if your cup is empty, then you just cannot pour into someone else's life. So that is really, it's great strategy you have. So I just wanted to ask, you said on your profile that humans matter more than tech. So yeah, why do you say that?
Well, the first part was before this whole AI revolution that we're currently working through. So the first part of it is it came from my experience with my first business and that amazing automated website that I built that I thought was going to make me rich. And the longer that I did that business, the more I realized that the website doesn't really matter. What really matters is
Mm-hmm.
that people understand what this is all about and what the end vision is. And everyone in my life that I had talked to about it, every other natural healthcare provider I had talked to about it, well, guess what they did? They signed up for the site. Now, that's great, but I only knew 4 natural healthcare providers at the time. So that kind of income wasn't going to keep the lights on, as they say. And so that's where that first realization came in that, you know what, it's people that matters more than tech. And we're going to see an exponential expansion of that line of thinking again as we go through this AI revolution that we're currently living. The lines between who is an actual human being that we see on social media and who is an AI creation, that line within 2 years is going to be indistinguishable. And so is the way that we communicate with that profile. It's going to be indistinguishable. You won't be able to tell if you're talking to an actual person or an AI. The only way you're going to be able to tell is if you meet these people in person. And again, if you're going to be in business, you need people. You can't sell to AI robots. You need people. So that's
Yeah. Yeah, even if you're selling selling pet food, pets don't buy
right.
their own food, right?
Right. You need people. 100%.
Ye- Yeah, and AI also, um, I actually do lots of presentations on AI, and people ask, "Oh, will AI take my job?" Again, AI is a tool. AI cannot take your job. Only it is a tool. So the way you use, you can become more productive. You can delegate mundane mechanical things to AI so that they can do the automation and mechanical things they can do. But still, it is your business, your brain, your strategy. And AI is also like computer, garbage in garbage out. If your prompt is generic, your output is generic. And if you do specific prompt and you give put your brand voice, you will get output based on. So even if you are using AI, it is still your brain, your strategy. AI can help you. For example, if you have a blank screen syndrome, you will AI will give you outline, or AI can make your writing little better. But still, it is your brain, your emotions, your words, your strategy, and that nobody can take it away. And human beings are means still means they are the most precious, and I think it is the highest evolved species on the earth. Means it's a blessing to be born as a human being, because there are so many millions and billions of species, and hey, on top of that, we are human beings, so there is nothing to complain about. And you mentioned about the abundance, and really it reminded me of the story, because everyone came up with big bank balance, but depending on their karma, their actions, they are withdrawing that much. Because it's like a bank balance. You put your stuff in a bank, and then you need a key of a banker and your own key to open the whatever is there in the bank. And a bank locker key is basically whatever you came up with, and then your action is your key, and then you open and you withdraw. So I remember a story. There was a one guy who went on a cruise. He went for the first time, and he actually spent all his whatever balance, whatever was there into his bank, and for the cruise ticket. And he had some snacks with him, and he saw the buffet, huge buffet. He said, "Oh my goodness, I already spent all money on my ticket. I don't have money for food." And then he kept on eating his snacks. And the last day, I think something, he really felt sick and he was out of snacks. And so the cruise doctor came to him and said, "Sir, you have been on cruise for 1 week and it looks like you have been fasting. Why didn't you go and eat?" He said, "I really didn't have money, so I didn't go and eat." He said, "Sir, that was included in your ticket." So here we are on this earth, and we just think of lack, but we don't understand everything is included in our ticket. As we are born over here, everything is included. It is there. It is only for us to unlock it and use it. So tell me how your, because you mentioned your journey from lack to abundance that made a lot of impact in your life. So I want to know more about your thoughts and your experiences about that, because that is so important, and I really want solopreneurs, entrepreneurs to know that. Because many times they have this imposter syndrome. Oh, my course looks like same like Amy Potterfield, and she's already making millions. Who will buy my course? So it is better if
Mm.
I don't launch. They just, nobody else is judging you, but you yourself judging yourself, because you know your each and every mistake you have done in your life. So, and if you compare yourself, you generally compare your worst with somebody
Right.
else's best, because nobody shows their nobody shows their worst on
Yeah.
social media. Yeah, means nobody. Yeah, people say, okay, I went to Europe, I had fun. Yeah, but they don't say that. Okay, means plane, I couldn't survive and I was throwing up all the time. Nobody mentions that on social media, so you don't know what is happening in their life. So I want to know your journey about lack to abundance, because I really want people to know that it is so
So
important.
one of the key concepts that really helped me was the line of thinking that nobody on earth wants the same thing. And what I mean by that is your definition, yes, you listening or watching right now, your definition of success is different from the next person that
Mhm.
you will meet. It is absolutely different. Not everyone wants a mansion with 5 Ferraris in the garage, you know? Some people
Yeah,
some people
yeah.
would be perfectly happy living in a cabin in the woods with a four-wheeler as their main way to get around. And that would be their dream. That would be like, "Oh, I made it. I'm finally here." So, the idea that there is not enough money, that there is not enough success to go around is a fallacy. And the reason is because we have this pre-programmed definition of what success is, but that's false because it's different for everyone. So if you really take that concept in and think about it, you'll realize if you look around, it's true. It's 100% true. So that right there opens up more possibilities for you to live in abundance. And I'll add one practical thing to something that you said, Sue. Just give a little bit of tactics, right? Because we want to give people some value and some tactics about how to go around other people and get their products or service noticed. So you mentioned, why would somebody buy my purse that I made when this other lady that's selling purses is already a multimillionaire? Why should I even start? Okay, the reason you should start is because not everybody likes that other lady's purses. There are people that are online right now reviewing those purses and complaining about things that that purse doesn't do, doesn't have, the way that it looks, maybe even the way that it smells. You don't know until you look it up, right? And then what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do is you fix all of those problems with your
Uh-huh,
purse that you create,
uh-huh,
and then you sell it.
mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you are right next to that lady that's selling millions of dollars every year because you fixed all the problems with her product by making yours.
I loved your success formula, because I remember uh, when we had a school reunion, actually college reunion after like 20 years, and people were talking before the reunion, and there were two girls, they were very studious. So then someone mentioned in the class, these were two studious, and what they achieved in life and all that. And so I said, you cannot compare what they achieved with what others achieved. Actually, the two studious girls, they ended up working for someone else, and the people who were really at the bottom, everyone has their own company. Means I was not among the top in my class when I was in the professional school, but I was kind of in the middle and all. But still, now I have many of my own companies, and they're flourishing really well. So I said, that's okay. Me, whatever, whoever achieved any success, it doesn't matter, because everyone's goals are different. So if they reach their goals, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter, because we have, means everybody's goals are different. Everybody's aim in their life is different. So it doesn't mean someone achieved this, that means they are better, and they might be miserable because their goals might be different, their mindset is different. And someone who might look that, oh, he didn't achieve much, but his mindset is different, and he might be a great giver, so he may not show even what he has and all. You really don't know people's lives, so we cannot even judge, or we cannot pass any comment about anyone's achievement and all. As far as they are happy, they achieved their goals, everything is fine, right? Means that is what I just have a simple formula. And you mentioned about just start. It's like Nike,
Right?
just do it. So yeah, tell me, because many of things in my life I just started, and I never stopped. Once I started, I never stopped. For example, podcast, I never wanted to start podcast because I have a heavy accent. I never wanted to be on podcast. I never wanted to speak. I never wanted to show my face. But I got feedback from my audience, so I started in one day. So that advice really worked for me. So you tell me, means why do you say just start?
Well, because what you just went through, you were unsure or uncomfortable being on camera. You were unsettled by the fact that you have an accent, and what would people think about that? What would people say? Maybe they're like, yeah, Sue seems nice and all, but I can't understand a dang thing she says, right? So all of these
Yeah.
all of these things get trapped in our heads about, I'm not good enough, I don't have this, that, or the other thing, I'm not ready to launch yet because of X, Y, or Z. And it's a killer. It is a business killer. It's a dream killer. Your vision of success that you have, it kills that if you just keep ruminating in your head. But the way to fix it is very simple. Take action. Because once you start moving, your brain focuses on the movement. It doesn't focus on all of the what if garbage that was happening in your head before. It focuses on moving forward, putting one foot in front of the other. So we start doing this thing that we love, and so that we watch where we're stepping and we don't trip and fall. So that's why I say just start, because just like you with the podcast, you did it. You got some initial feedback that people were liking it. And well, guess what? All those falsehoods that you had in your head about not being good enough, not being able to be understood, all those went away. And here we are today. And the same applies for the person who wants to start in entrepreneurship. So whatever it is that you're thinking about, plan for it a little bit, but then just go. Just go.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely right. But then, how do they know whether the decision they made is
Oh,
right
you
or
won't.
wrong? How do you
You won't.
define? Okay,
It's just that simple.
okay.
There is no such thing as the perfect decision. It doesn't exist. So
Uh-huh,
if
uh-huh,
you get started down a path and you have this
uh-huh,
gut feeling that this isn't
uh-huh,
going the right way, this isn't working out, I don't feel good
uh-huh.
about this, then pivot. Go on the other path, the other way that you were thinking about, right? You have to, again, you have to have momentum. You have to keep in action and stop being so hard on yourself about all of this. If you start going down a certain direction with your business and you have to pivot, you have to change, nobody is going to think you're a failure. The only way that you fail is if you stop, if you give up. And just keep going, keep in action, one foot in front of the other. And again, just don't worry about this whole decision making process nearly as much as you are. You can take an analytical approach to it, though. You can look at, okay, these are all the positives of this potential direction, and these are all the potential negatives that I can see. And then you think about the other direction. Again, what are the positives? What are the negatives? And you can simply compare the two. Okay, well, this one has more positives than negatives, so that's the way that I'm going to go. Or this one might have one more negative, but I feel more aligned with this way of doing business, so I'm going to go this way. And then just go. And you can always change, you can always fix it later.
Yeah, that is a really great strategy. Means you can, and there are always, means basically, when plane actually flies, if they don't make changes, they will go to totally somewhere else. They won't go to the destination. They have to keep on doing tweaking and changes and all, depending on so many so many parameters. Yeah, there can be weather or whatever it is, but yeah, you have to keep on. Yeah, otherwise if it's something like that, you will say, oh, unless I get all the signals green, I'm not going to start. Then hey, you will stay at home, you are never going to start. So same thing is applicable over here. And no, we are talking about permission here. So what what do you mean by permission to be powerful?
Oh, you went deep into the archives for that one. All right. So, permission to be powerful, it's all about giving yourself the permission, the ability to step into who you are and who you're meant to be. I believe that we were put here by our creator for a purpose, for a reason. What that reason is, that's your journey. I have no idea what your purpose is, what your ultimate reason for being here is, but I do know that there is one, and I do know that it's important. So if you think about yourself in that way, that you are here for a purpose, that what you are here to do is important, that you are important, and you take that and you bring it forward into this idea that you have for your business, for your life, for how you want your family to develop, because this is all connected. Entrepreneurship isn't just about a business and selling things. Entrepreneurship really is the human experience in totality. So if you take this idea, this truth, that you're here for a reason, that you are important, that your purpose is important, and you follow that gut instinct, that is your permission. That gut instinct that tells you, I want to be in business. I want to do something good for the planet, good for society. I want to build up an amazing family for myself with a stunning amount of wealth. All of these feelings that you have inside of you, you take that and you bring it forward into your business and into your life. And you were born with this. You were born with this mandate. That is your permission to be powerful. So take it.
That is really amazing, because yeah, that's the only one goal I have this in this life, that the world is little better because I was on this earth. Because hey, this is the renting place. I don't know how long I'll be renting this place. I have no idea. Yeah, but just this is small thing, that world is little better because I was on this earth, and I didn't know that was really powerful. But it, hey, you made it, yeah, look like one. So I'm really happy. So you mentioned about your first entrepreneur venture. So I just want to know that what is your next plan? I'm of course I know the support, yeah, support circle you are forming. I want to know more details about that. Means whatever details you want to share, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, my audience will be interested and I want to know more about that. But I just want to know more about your next plans.
So the next plans are to, okay, so I have opened up sponsorship opportunities for the podcast, to where, if you have a business and you would like to get your business in front of other entrepreneurs or people that are thinking about starting a business, you can get in touch with me and I can do an ad read for you. You can buy a certain amount of slots, either before the podcast, in the middle of it, or at the end. Obviously, those are all just different prices. So that's one avenue that I've recently opened up. And the next one is, just like you mentioned, the entrepreneurship circle, support circle. And the way that, again, this is just a brand new thing. So if you're listening to this, it's, what is it, April 26th in 2025. As you're listening to this right now, on this particular date, it's a brand new idea. So the way that I have it in my mind right now is, it'll be a group of probably 10 people, 10 entrepreneurs, and we will get together and we will meet virtually, maybe twice a month. We'll get together and we'll meet virtually. And just like I described earlier, you'll get to address one question or one problem that you're having in your business development right now. And you will get feedback from me. You'll get feedback from one of my former entrepreneurship podcast guests. And you'll also be able to get feedback and insight from everybody else in the circle. And that container in my mind would last for 6 months. Because again, entrepreneurship is an all encompassing human journey. There might be times when we're talking about SEO. There might be times when we're talking about marketing or branding. And there might also be times when we're talking about mindset and emotional intelligence. We never know. You never know what somebody, like you said earlier, so you never know what somebody else is struggling with at that particular moment in time. But one thing that we all can do is we can all help each other and we can all benefit from our combined experiences and really raise everyone in that circle up.
So if someone wants to find you, of course your website will be there in the show notes and description, that wealthy.consulting.
Actually,
So
actually,
where
my
can
dear,
someone?
the website that I would direct people to is GYET podcast.com.
Oh, so that's a
Yeah,
new podcast.
yeah,
Okay,
that's correct.
okay.
And then if you would want to get in touch with me personally and say, hey, Brian, I like the sound of this entrepreneurship support circle. I want to know more, maybe want to participate. If that sounds like you, then just send me an email, brian@gyetpodcast.com, and let me know that you're interested in the entrepreneurship support circle. And I will definitely keep you in the loop as this comes closer and closer to launch.
So I understand that okay, this circle is for entrepreneurs, but they can be at various stages. Some might be thinking of starting entrepreneurship. Some are really new entrepreneurs. Some are seasoned. Some are really already scaling millions and all. So this circle is for whom?
And this is why I love podcasts and these conversations, Sue, because right there you made me think about something that I hadn't thought of, because again, this is brand new ideas coming out right now. And I think what I really love about what you said, and it made me think of, I need to do two. I needed to do two different circles. So the first circle would be for anyone that is zero, like just thinking about getting into entrepreneurship, up to 5 years in. And then the second circle would be for people that are 6+ years in, people with more experience, maybe that are growing and scaling, or maybe looking at a potential exit, right? So I would have two different circles for those two different stages of entrepreneurship. So thank you for bringing that idea forward.
Yeah, sure, you're welcome, because I personally I'm interested. I'm pretty sure someone, yeah, few people from my audience also will be interested, and you have limited spots. So I think it is better earlier they contact you, because by the time if they delay and they contact you late, who knows, all your 10 spots are gone, then yeah, then they will have to wait for the next one when it comes up and
Right.
opens up. So I asked whatever. Yeah. Okay, so I asked whatever I wanted to ask, but in case I missed out on something and you want to add, yeah, feel free to do so now.
So what comes up to me when we open the floor is the idea of leadership. This is something that I've been diving into more of lately, talking with people about. And especially when you're growing a business, when you get to the point where it's time to start hiring people to work with you, whether that be on like a contractor or freelancer, or you're actually going to hire employees. Now we're talking about leadership. And the first thing that you really have to relay to anyone who would potentially come to work for you is vision. So what is your vision for this company? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? And who are you serving by having this in the world? People need a very clear understanding of what they're doing. If they're going to work for you, number one, and number two, and probably most importantly, if they're going to be passionate about what you're doing or about what they're doing, right? You don't want somebody who is just showing up to work, punching a time clock, and saying TGIF and then going home for the weekend. You want somebody that shows up to work and says, thank God it's Monday because I love working for
Yeah.
this company and this person.
Oh my goodness, you won't believe. Sorry, I'm interjecting you, but I have a newsletter called TGIM because I love Mondays as much as I love
That's
Fridays.
awesome.
Go ahead. Yeah, really, it is so nice that okay, I can relate to you. I'm really enjoying it. Go ahead. Sorry
No,
to
no,
interject.
not at all. Not at all. And then going back to our previous kind of touch on the whole decision making process, when we're thinking about, again, hiring employees and expanding, this is something that I've been thinking about. Again, it got brought up in my show, and I think that it's right. And what I mean is, when you're looking at hiring someone, yes, bring them in for that particular job that they applied for, but also make sure that they understand, again, how that job fits into the vision. But on top of that, give them a list of other jobs that are potentially open at the company so that they can then decide, you know what, I came in here for job X, but after reading this list, I know I am meant to do job Y for this company. I know it. I'm passionate. I've got the skills and I'm excited to do it. You know, yeah, job X would be okay, but job Y is what I want. You hire somebody like that for that position, they're going to be saying, thank God it's Monday, and you're going to have an amazing employee.
That is so great. Thank you. I really appreciate you coming and blessing our community. Our community is our family. So, yeah, thanks a lot and really cannot wait to see your support circle. It is so needed because solopreneurs they don't need to be lonely. They really need to be associating with other solopreneurs who are moving ahead. Because it is in COVID time we learn if you want to catch a cold, yeah, associate with people who already have cold. So here also means if you want to catch a success, associate with people who are going towards success or who are already successful. So depending on whatever definition you or they have. So really keep up the great work. Appreciate you coming on our podcast and looking forward to collaborating with you and keep up the great work. And audience, I just want to tell you, Brian just gave nuggets after nuggets. Now it is up to you. It is up to you to implement because if you just have knowledge, if you have just resources, they can be carrying dust and it can be mental dust or digital dust or whatever it is. But the applied knowledge is the only knowledge which is useful, that is useful for your life. So, whatever he taught us, it is now up to you to apply to your life and your business and succeed. Yeah, move ahead. Just start and succeed. That is what we learn from Brian, right? Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Thank you.
much.
Keep up the great work. Yeah. And God bless you. Hey, thanks for joining us. We are blessed to have you as part of our community, and whatever way we can help you, serve you, let us know. Please subscribe and let us know how we can help you, what resources you want. We have lots of free resources and also free collaboration joint venture groups you can join, and explode your business, because most solopreneurs quit their business before they launch their first products, and I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why we have special launch service where you can monetize your digitals and become profitable as fast as within 7 days. And if you want to scale your business, join our membership New Beginning Success Collaboration, where we'll provide you MRR and PLR products and collaborations so that you can scale your business with ease and effortlessly. And hey, if you want to sell your digitals all over the world, yes, we will provide you affiliates more than 200 countries. So everything is possible. Just live your dream, follow your dream, and whichever way we can help you, do let us know. Thank you and God bless you.